Here is the reason why majority of Black women are behind in the dating game, behind in the marital game. They're not getting married and they cannot secure, or they have not been securing men who provide.
Our beautiful sister over here is saying how Black women are behind in the dating game, in the sense that they do not secure men that provide. She said a lot, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the clip for you all to watch to the end, and at the end of the video I'll be back.
Here is the reason why majority of Black women are behind in the dating game, behind in the marital game. They're not getting married and they cannot secure, or they have not been securing men who provide. And the main reason why is honestly speaking, it's first societal programming, and second, the way that we raise our children, which is why I encourage every Black woman that's watching this video, even if you made mistakes and you already have children, be the person that breaks the pattern in the family, especially in regards to the selection of men. Let's be honest. Women who are of other cultures, as white women, Middle Eastern women, Asian women, they are taught to target and date and pursue men who are providers, someone or a man who has something to offer. Because in those cultures, when the father gives their daughter away to that man, they don't have the expectation in their mind that their daughter is going to have to struggle, work hard, work double shifts. They feel like, we're giving our precious flower away to you. Here she is. Make sure you take good care of her and make sure you're able to provide for her. But in the Black community, we're taught different. We're taught to date someone just because you like them. Oh, he's not working. It's okay, girl. Girl, hold him down. Hold him down. He doesn't have much going on. Hold him down. Just work it out. Stick it out. We're kind of taught that struggle narrative, that narrative of hard work and hard labor. And we're taught, but why would you be doing hard labor if you have a man present that you are in a relationship with? That's the difference. And there was a point in time I was working in a luxury firm. Luxury firm was predominantly a Caucasian luxury firm. And, we would have girl talk, like all the associates, it was really chill vibes. We would all sit down in the lunchroom and just talk about girl stuff. Everyone's dating someone new, catching up. And I noticed that the Caucasian women in there and the Middle Eastern women in there and even the Latin women in there, their first question when anyone in our group was dating a man, their first question was, okay, what does he do for a living? Mm-hmm. That was always the first question. It wasn't, do you like him? Do you love him? Does he treat you nicely? No, that was never the first question. And as I grew up and I matured, it totally dawned on me. And I'm like, no wonder they are so far economically with marriages and with relationships, because the first thing that they look at is financial security. Black women, on the other hand, that is not the first thing that they look at unless they're from African cultures. African women are totally different when it comes to American women as far as how they date. That man has to be, if they're going to check bank statements before the marriage is even legalized, they're going to check bank statements. That's how it is in Africa. So props to African women. They have that on lock as far as Black women. But it dawned on me and I'm like, this is the problem. This is it right here. Why are African American women not vetting men properly? Why aren't they choosing men who are educated? Why are they not looking for men who have something to offer? Why are they looking for men that they have to work with or slave with? Majority of the African American women that I know that are highly educated, hyper educated, they take care of their husbands. Their husbands are house husbands. And I've seen that trend. And when I was a kid, I knew it wasn't right. When I was younger, I knew it didn't make sense. But now that I'm older, I'm like,
hey beautiful people, how are you all doing today? It's your girl Maria David, and I'm back again with another interesting video. Black women do not secure men that provides. And one of the reasons she said is because we were trained to date for love. We were trained to date someone that just like us. So if you cannot provide, they will just ask you, do you like him? So far you like him, everything will be fine. Whereby probably other races, they ask, what does he do for a living? Would determine if you would go and marry him or start dating him or not. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. What is your take? Do you accept what she says or not? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section. Kindly put your thoughts in the comment section respectfully. All opinions are accepted. So I have interesting stitches, interesting ones, and a lot of people have so many things to share about, you know, what she was talking about. So let's go ahead and watch the videos together. At the end of the video, I'll be back with my own opinion.
Which is why I encourage every Black woman that's watching this video, even if you may,
please go watch her video. So watch the video. If you got a closed mind, and I mean, you know, just keep scrolling regardless. But my point is this: I was trying to make the same point to somebody else who just didn't get it right. And what I was trying to say was, or my point was, and it goes kind of back, it relates to her video and what she's saying, is to me, it seems like for a few generations now, Black women have been raising our daughters to ultimately become or prepare to be single mothers. Now, some of y'all are not gonna like it, you're not gonna get it, that's good and fine. But it's like, it's one thing to raise your daughter to know how to be independent and to know how to stand on her own 2 feet. But y'all are raising your daughters to be independent while in a relationship, or to be ready to be involved with a person, to have a child, and then be on your own raising that child. And I know a lot of y'all not gonna get it, that's perfectly fine, but those who get it are gonna get it. Go back and watch the video anyway. I feel like there's so many people that can really learn from this, from what she's saying, because it makes perfect sense. We just need to redo a whole lot of shit. And I think breaking that, I don't know if you want to call it a generational curse or Black American cultural curse or whatever it is, but we need to start breaking that and doing better, because it's really crazy how as Black women, a lot of times we don't see that we are worthy of even going into dating and looking for possible suitors for ourselves and our daughters if we have them. Like, we're not worthy of that, or we're not, that's gold digger mentality, or that's whatever. Whereas we will have friends of other races and other nationalities or whatever, other cultures that do this, and we think it's perfectly normal, and we love that for them, but we don't see that it's okay to do it for ourselves. It's really time to unlearn some stuff, like, for real, like now.
like, this is it right here. Why are African American women not vetted?
What this content creator said was true, but I don't fully agree with the narrative that Black women just aren't vetting properly, or Black women just they're not looking for the right things. When we talk about American Black women and Black men and why we're behind in the relationship status and marriage status, and why Black women are behind in, you know, the mindset of looking for providers compared to all other races, you have to consider why. Because Black Americans' lives in America started with slavery. Black women have been conditioned since the beginning of slavery to hold Black men down, to ride for them, because they had no other option. First of all, it's not like they could date other races. They were slaves, so they were stuck between dating each other or having secret affairs with a white person or something, but there was no open acceptable dating of other races. So you had Black people having to be together, and then you're watching your loved ones, you're watching your husband, your brother, your sons be brutally beaten and murdered in front of you. They had no finances to provide for you. They had no job other than being a slave. They had no house, no nothing they could do for you. All you could do was love them, and all they could do was love you. Like, that was literally the foundation of the Black relationship, was love. Everything around them was hell and chaos. The little bit of happiness they had was falling in love and creating a family. And even that thing that you love, that family, can be snatched away from you and ripped away from you at any time. There were no providers. There were no, and even if your husband was providing for you in whatever way he could as a slave, it could still be taken away at any given moment. It really didn't mean anything. That's all Black people could give each other in America as slaves, was love and protection. Limited protection. So then you move out of that time period, and now you have when Black people were free, but there was segregation and all that. Black people really still weren't dating white people at the time, because white people still very much hated Black people, and you did have something rare here and there, but if I'm correct, it was still illegal. Yes, it was illegal to date especially for a black man to be with a white woman. And if it wasn't illegal, it was very highly frowned upon to where you would get murdered for it. So black couples were still forced, in a sense, not saying that they didn't want to, but they were still kind of forced to be with each other. But that was the beginning of the black man becoming a provider, because he was now able to actually work. But he's working in a society where nobody really wants to even see him free. He barely got some rights, and any little thing, he can sneeze the wrong way and they're going to kill him. A white man could be having a bad day and decide, we're just going to go lynch this black dude because we feel like it, and they will get away with it. We're not that far removed from that time period. So once again, the main thing the black community had was love. The main thing to draw you to a black man as a black woman was because you were attracted to him, because you liked him, because he treated you nice. If he was able to financially provide for you, that was a plus, I'm sure. But that was not our top thing we're looking for. Like, other races had the luxury to look at that type of thing. Black Americans coming out of slavery did not have that luxury. Now we're a little bit further removed from that, and we're able to start thinking about things like having a soft life and wanting a provider as black women. Yeah. But the concept is still fairly new. But you can't just take everything that our ancestors been through and erase it. No, it's been being passed down to us. So your mother raised you the way her mother raised her, the way her mother raised her, so on and so forth. So it's still in black women to love and to nurture and protect the black man, because that's the main thing they were able to offer all this time, was just their nurturing and love. And so it's still in black women to pass that down. That's why they spoil their sons and they're harder on their daughters. But we're still conditioned to look at each other and go after each other off of emotions, not finances. So it's not because we're doing anything wrong or we're just not like the other women out there. It's because literally that was a luxury. Now we're stepping into that luxury where we can think that way. And a lot of black women are starting to come around and say, okay, I want to live a soft life. The only issue is that black men are also deciding, now that they're a little bit removed from, a black man can still be killed just because, but it's not as bad as it was before. It's just a little bit harder. And now they want a soft life too. That's the problem. And we're looking at them like, oh, you're weak, you're this, you're that. I'm starting to wonder, maybe it's just that they're just tired and they want a soft life. Now, black men and black women stemming from slavery in America, the generations after it, us now, we all deserve to have a soft life. Seeing as what our ancestors went through, we deserve to just be able to lay around and do nothing all day, seeing as though black people have always been working since they touched down in America. But that creates a war between us. We're looking at black men like, how come you aren't providing for me and doing X, Y, and Z like the white man over here, like the Asian man over there, or like all these other races are doing for their women? But that is a new concept for them. That is a new concept for all black Americans. This is a new concept. We can't compare ourselves to what other people who weren't dealing with what we're dealing with, who didn't get snatched out of their homeland and brought into slavery. We can't compare ourselves to them. So now you got us looking at black men saying, y'all need to provide for us, y'all need to take care of us, it's time for us to have a soft life, which is very true. But then you got black men looking at us saying, no, you need to share the burden with me. I wanna be able to relax a little bit too. And it's not right either way. It's not right that black men never got a break. It's not right that they never got a break. And it's not right that black women never got a break. Like, it's just not right either way. But to say that we're not picking right, or like there's something wrong with black women for how we're choosing, I don't agree with that. And I'm not saying that that's what that creator was saying, but I'm just saying I feel like a lot of people are talking like that on the internet, and a lot of black women are mad at themselves for how they've been choosing. But the thing is how we've been taught to choose, because love was the only thing that we really had.
The reason why majority of black women are behind in the dating game.
Honestly, I think this can be traced back to the oppression of black people in America. As I was listening to this girl speak about how other cultures of women are taught to look for a man who provides, and how black women are taught to hold your man down and stand by him, I was thinking about how historically black men weren't able to get good jobs where they could allow their wives to sit home and be women. it was not easy for a black man to go out and get the same kind of job as a white man that would pay well, or if he did get the job, he wouldn't be paid the same as a white man. And so historically, black women have had to go pick up extra jobs, cooking, cleaning, taking care of people's babies, to help the man be able to provide for the family. Not because he didn't want to, because he was oppressed. So I think that's why it's taught generation to generation, you know, help out your man. He's a good man, Savannah. Help him out. Simply because that's what was necessary. Now, obviously, times are different and they're not as bad as they once were. But I think that's why it's not as much of a cultural thing for black people to be taught that. Simply because there wasn't always the opportunity for that. Now, I am by no means using that as an excuse to not have a provider mindset. I'm just saying it could be part of the reason why black women are brought up the way that we are.
Here is a reason why majority of black women are behind in the
Young ladies, what are you looking for in a potential mate? Do you guys think we're steering ourselves wrong when we look for all the wrong things? Like, oftentimes we have the proclivity of going towards a certain type of caliber of a man, and then we expect a different result, but it's like we keep doing the same thing. Do you feel as though maybe if we pick different type of men, we would garner different results? Or no, that's crazy?
Middle Eastern women, Asian women, they are taught to...
All right, so I wasn't going to stitch this video. I was going to save it for my YouTube channel, but I decided why not? Let's just do it right here. So I felt like I liked the way this video started. I was all in the beginning, but then when it got towards the middle part, I'm like, yeah, no. This is the same rhetoric that everybody is speaking to our women. That's why we are so behind in the dating pool, for real, for real. What we forget is that a lot of these women have some of the most important characteristics that our women in the community are not taught. 1, be submissive to your husband. He's the head of the household. He makes the rules. His career is important. So a lot of these Caucasian women who you see with these men who have great careers is because they usually met them or knew them since high school. And as they decided to be together and they aged together, they decided that, hey, my man is going to go to law school. My man is going to go to medical school. I'm going to support him through that. So when he graduates, they're able to... Sorry about that. I'm a stay-at-home mom. They're able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Middle Eastern women. A lot of these women come over to America with nothing. Sorry about that. Again, these kids are a little busy. But these women come over here with almost nothing. Their husbands tell them, take care of the household. They'll go downtown and get every public assistance that's out there, while their husband is going to get the grant to start their store, while they're going to get the grant to start their business. And their wife is doing what they're told so that the husband can set their family up to prosper. Our women don't want to do that. They want to go get the degree. And I'm one of the women who did that. Me and my husband been together since I was 19 years old. I wanted to go get the degree. I wanted to get the great paying job until he was like, I'm not going to be one of those men. Sit down. You're going to be at home with our kids. I'm going to go out and I'm going to provide. And because of the way I was raised, oh, you don't let a man, keep you in the house and, let him be the one to have everything because he can leave you. Mm-hmm. He can decide that he want to leave and you'll be left with nothing. That's what our women is taught. So we think, let's go get that degree. Let's get that job. So in case he decide he want to leave, I'm okay. Yeah. That's why these women in those cultures, if their husband was to leave, they would have to start from zero because their entire life is to support their husband the way the Bible tells us to. So what's so funny is that if we actually listen to our Bible and did what these women, for the most part, do in these cultures, our whole community would be better off. That's the real problem. But I'll talk to y'all about that later.
Here is the reason why majority of black women are behind in the...
I agree with this, but also make sure that you're dating for their character as well. Like, a lot of times men make a lot of money and they're still assholes. So you're going to be marrying this man, being with this man and everything, and he cheats on you.
Yeah.
and he got mistresses. That's what be happening in these other cultures too, especially African cultures. Them men be having mistresses, baby. So really, like, if you're gonna go for the, you know, the materialistic aspect of a relationship, just keep that in mind, okay? A lot of the time, those men be cheating. But I know it's the argument of, oh, I'd rather cry in a Benz than a fucking Toyota, you know? But it's still like, you gotta really pay attention to that shit, because that's what you're in for if you're going for that type of shit. But if you're going purely for character and then money is a plus, you get a better chance of having a man that'll take care of you and treat you right. Oh my God, double whammy. Double whammy. So I feel like a lot of us women, that's also why we're behind. So it's two extremes on this spectrum, I'll say. So it's like the women that go after the man for money because, you know, oh, I'm going to get cheated on anyway. And then it's the women that just settle for the poor men because they think, oh, like, whatever, you know, I'll take care of him as long as he loves me. It's like, no, there needs to be a middle ground. Let's go like right here. Okay, let's get the man that is generous and is ambitious, but is also treating you well. And that's how we gonna win.
There's a reason why majority of Black women are behind in the dating game.
I want to really talk about that though, because why are Black women, and this is like a universal question I've seen on TikTok, where we're questioning, why are Black women taught to think about potential? Why are we not taught to think about what a man can do? Because me as a young woman now, my 16-year-old self was only thinking about what potential a guy had. We could be doing this XYZ. Now that I'm older and a little bit more wiser, obviously you're not going to be wiser when you're younger. You learn things, you understand things. Imagine now, I don't want a man with potential. I want a man with already established. I want him already established. But I find it weird how Black women are literally taught to think, I want a man with potential. I want a man that doesn't have these things. I want a man that doesn't have XYZ. And that's fine. But why don't you want a man that has money, has funds? Why don't you want those things? Why are our families, it's a systemic issue. Why are we taught to date down and not date up? I want to be a bunch of things in my life. I'm teaching myself to date up. I have to do that because my community is not teaching me to date up, which is interesting. I find that interesting. It's just something to think about. Why are we taught that? It's a rhetorical question that's asked all the time. I really think it's systemic, truthfully. I don't think it's necessarily something that can be broken easily by a lot of women, and I think it's something that should be talked about more. So, yeah.
There's a reason why majority of Black women are behind in the dating game.
First off, I do want to say I am in total agreement of everything she said in her video. If you haven't already, please go back and watch. I'm just pretty much giving my 2 cents and addressing one of the questions that she had in the video. That question being, why don't us as Black women properly vet the men we date? Well, I would like to say, I think we do vet. I just think that when we vet, we're then labeled and categorized as gold diggers or being stuck up or high maintenance or, you know, city girls or whatever. Like, we do. I do think that we do vet, but like I said, I do think we get categorized for it all the time. The other thing I would say that kind of makes it hard for especially millennial women now and the generations after, what makes it a little harder to properly vet someone you're dating is because we're in a generation and we're in a time where things are changing. You know, no one's staying at their job 20, 30 years anymore. Like, people are barely getting 5 years in at one company.
So you can't necessarily always say that, you know, properly vetting or asking someone what they do for a living, because we're in a space now where nobody knows what they're doing for a living. Every day somebody is picking up something new to do for a living. So you can't necessarily just say that the proper way to vet is to, you know exactly what somebody is doing for a living or how they get their money or whatever the case is. You honestly just need to know and see certain qualities of a provider. You need to know that the person that you're going to be in tune with is the person that's going to do whatever it takes to make sure your household is taken care of. That's how you properly vet somebody. You don't sit and ask the basic questions, because you're going to always get basic answers. You're always going to get the laid out, played out, whatever it is. You know, they've probably said this multiple times in multiple dates. Like, you have to actually physically see somebody in action, dating them and understanding, hey, is this somebody that can hold down my household when it comes down to being one? And that's all I got. Bye, y'all.
Here is the reason why majority of Black women are behind in the...
So when you get a chance, go back and look at the video that I'm stitching. What she said is completely correct. I have recently learned this. I was dating somebody for like 7 months, and this person was not in my tax bracket, as many would say. And I'm not trying to say that just because a man doesn't make the same amount of money as you, but the mindsets and the everything else be so different. Like, it's so different. And I used to be like, oh, just the, you know, if the man got a job, no, that doesn't mean anything. No, I'm good. Because if I'm making 100,000 and you're making 40,000, we're not on the same level financially, and our mindsets are different. You understand what I'm saying? And you may blow your money off, you know what I'm saying? But I may invest my money and save my money. So yeah.
If you're still here, kindly let me know your thoughts, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinions are accepted. Put them down respectfully. So Black women are taught to date down, not date high. They are taught to look at men that just basically like them, but not men that can provide. Black women do not naturally attract providers, or they do not secure providers. Let me use the word secure. They do not naturally secure providers, men that are providers. I personally enjoy the stitches in this video because they were all making sense. To her, yeah, I kind of totally agree with that part, whereby we were taught to be with a man that just like you and is basically, because he has a job and is just working, is earning, and if they don't want to even know how much he's earning, because when it comes to money aspects, most people don't really actually tell you how much they are earning, so it's kind of a secret. So once you just tell them the kind of work you're doing and you're working, so far you're working, you're not just staying at home doing nothing, as a man you can get a wife, and people's parents will hand over their child to you just because you're working. And if as a woman or as a girl, as a lady, you go on to tell people that, oh, I have a boyfriend, or I have someone that wants to get married to me, or I want to start dating, the first thing people ask you is that, do you like him? Is he okay? So far you like him, even if he doesn't have, even if he's not so rich, don't worry, build with him. At the end of the day, we'll be all right. But my own is, which would you prefer? Would you prefer dating or being with a provider, or being with someone that loves and cares for you? So we've been raised, Black women have raised their daughters on how to be independent and how to provide for themselves, which is a good thing to me. I feel like that's the best way to raise your daughters, how to not depend on people. So because we've been raised that way, it seems now that even if we have a man, we will still want to work and earn a living. We don't want to just stay at home and not do anything. My own is that, why would I stay at home, even if I'm not black or probably I'm another race. I cannot just stay at home and depend on my life. So what if the person is no more, and probably work he's doing or all his investments gets burnt? There is no plan B. You know, what's going to happen to our lives? What's going to happen to the life of our children? Like, you have to work. You as an adult, you still have to do something. You still have to have your own investment, even if you're not going to work 9 to 5. But you're still, even if you're just sitting at home, you still have to have an investment for your own self in your own name, because anything can happen at the end of the day. I agree with her that yes, black women were raised to naturally independent. Yes, it's true. But to me, I would like to ask that, would you date a provider or a caring man? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Which one would you pick, or which one do you think is better? And one of the switch was like, if you date someone that naturally provide, most of them cheat a lot, and that is not even it, because people that don't even have money, they also cheat. So why some people say I'll better cry in Benz than cry in, you know, in a poor house, I'd better cry in a mansion than cry in Face Me I Face You, like a single room house and everything. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I feel like I have a lot to say, but I don't know, it's not coming. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. All opinions are accepted. If you can put them down respectfully. And thank you so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And kindly turn on the post notification bell when you subscribe, so you can get notified when I upload interesting video like this one. Okay, and I'll see you all in my next video.